Hey everybody, Hal Weeks for dAaigle Autoharps, coming to you from SeaTac, Washington, and we are talking about the various dAaigle Autoharp models and why, and what's different about the different models, and what niche do they fill, and why do we make that different, and why do we call it something different, and what are the features of the different models and everything like that. Today, it's the Cascade. And the Cascade was actually the first dAaigle model that rolled off the, well, there were two prototypical, the Model 1 and the Model 2. This is the Model 3. And the Model 3 is the first one, is the one that is, the Model 3 is the earliest dAaigle Autoharp that is still in production. And it's one of our two flagship models, the other one being the Model 4 or the TLC. And we're going to show you that one as well. If I haven't rolled that out already, I made the video before this one. But today it's the Model 3, and I'm going to compare a walnut one and a maple one for you so you can hear the difference. And I'm going to show you the different features, and then I'll probably play one of them next to the corresponding Model 4 so you can hear the tonal difference, because there's a slight tonal difference between the two. Okay, so the Model 3 has lots of little extra, what I call pizza toppings, that are aesthetic. But some of them are functional too. Let's talk about the aesthetic ones. First of all, there's a design around the sound hole. And in recent years, it's been it's sort of an engraved one in a contrasting wood. And then around the top, there is what's called herringbone purfling. You see it right along here. That is not there on the TLC. Makes the TLC a little bit less expensive to make because of the fewer man hours involved. Then there's this thing which is a quick change chord bar setup. Again, it has to do with these. And the Model 4 or the TLC does not have this. This is only available on the Cascade model, and it's this. And I'm going to attempt to do this one-handed. You just pull this off. It's mounted with magnets and clips, and it opens up your chord bars so that you can take one or two or three off and put in other ones. You can obtain separate chords, keep them in a box, and put them in when you need them. Kinda slick, huh? And then you just, and this is going to be hard to do on camera holding the Autoharp like this, but you just put the clips back in the little holes and pop that on. And it takes, I have an Autoharp that's got a completely different set of chord bars, and I can change over to that other set of chord bars in about 2 minutes. And go back and forth. That's a pretty fancy thing. Of course, it has the fine tuners, as all of our Autoharps do. The Cascade has a bent bridge here. And what this does is it creates a situation where the chord bars have to be moved up. And it means that these bottommost chord bars are damping further up the string. At least on the bass strings, that's the case. Let me show you a Model 4 here, and so that you can compare. Got to handle these really carefully. Here's the Model 4. And as you can see, the distance between the bridge and this bottommost chord bar is only about an inch. Whereas On the Cascade, it's a much wider space. It's closer to 2 inches. And what does that do? It means that this key at the bottom, if you've ever played your Autoharp and played these buttons at the bottom, when you have a straight bridge like that and it's right down on the bridge almost, it's a lot harder to push them and it's more tiring to play, and you get sort of a funky tone on those bottommost chord bars. That's physics. There's nothing you can do about that except design an Autoharp where the chord bars are mounted up a little higher, and that's what you've got on the Cascade. So that means that really, whereas the other Autoharp plays in about 4 keys without getting into those hard to push, hard to damp chords at the very bottom, this one gives you a whole extra key. So it's got 5 keys on it that you can play in easily and effectively, and it's really quite easy to play in the key of A without getting into trouble. So, that being said, let's see, what else about the Cascade model? That's it. It's just got some pretty additions, and it's got the bent bridges. It's got the bent bridge here, and actually this bridge is a little bent right here to move just a little bit up on this end so that you have a little bit more space up here to play the high notes. So, what does it sound like? Well, this is a walnut. So it has walnut tone. I'm going to show you the back. All walnut looks different, so every harp looks a little different on the back. This one has really pretty chord bars, pretty amazing chord bars, actually. Anyway, so little Planck Fanny power. So there's the Model 3 in walnut. Now I'm going to come back to this harp and play it next to a Model 4, the TLC, in a few minutes. But first I'm going to play a Model 3 in maple, because I have one here. And I'll show you chord bars. And the back. Maple is, right now, I think it's a $200 boost in price over the walnut, because we have more of the walnut handy. The Maple Model 3 Cascade. So, let's go back to the walnut one for a minute and compare it to the Model 4 that I played in the TLC video. Here's the Cascade again. the Model 4. If I was going to summarize the difference in the tonal quality, I would say that the TLC, because it doesn't have that angle here, has a slightly, very slightly larger cavity inside. And so it has a very slight boost in the bass over the Cascade, but only audible on those maybe 3 notes that correspond to your 3 lowest strings. If, for example, the D chord doesn't have any of those 3 lowest strings in it in standard tuning, and so they sound identical from there on up. But that those bottom 3 strings, so your C chord, your G chord, your F chord, they have a little bit of an edge in the bass. However, all of our harps are thicker, deeper than factory-made harps like Oscar Schmidt's, and so they have more oomph, like a lot more oomph in the bass than standard. So there you have it. That is our a close-up on our Cascade model, and also a comparison between those two, which are sort of top of the line for us, is the Cascade and the TLC. They are both solid wood, you know, softwood on the top, spruce normally, and then on the back, walnut or maple. We also are building in mahogany pretty regularly, and those are awesome. Don't have any mahogany harps to show you right now, but I will. There's some that are coming through, and when they're ready, I'll make some videos about the mahogany so that you can hear those. The Cascade and the TLC are available as Freedom Harps, and I'm going to do a separate video on Freedom Harps. The Freedom Harp is the harp with the carbon fiber top and back sometimes. And I've got, this is a Cascade, and I've got the one that I play over there, and that one's this one's a Cascade, that one's a Cascade, this one's a diatonic, and that one's a chromatic. And so I'll make a video about those separately, but those Freedom Harps, the Freedom Harp is available in a Cascade model or a TLC model. And so, you know, you can choose the harp of your choosing and get a carbon fiber top on it, and that's yet another pizza topping that is quite a sound upgrade, and we'll get into that in another video. Okay, thanks for watching this expose of the Model 3 Cascade auto harp from dAaigle Auto Harps, and they're available right now through autoharp.com. Thanks. Bye-bye.